Tom Ferry, one of our friends, always likes to say, headlines typically terrify instead of clarify. So hopefully we're going to clarify some of the stuff that's going on that you're hearing about the market. So you're probably hearing things like this, which are true. Sales of existing homes are falling. What does that mean? Well, they fell 2.4% in April, their lowest level in almost 2 years. Well, the last 2 years, we've had some of our highest level of total home sales out of the last decade plus, right? Really ever. We've sold a ton of homes, sold 6.9 million units, or homes rather, which would be double the units last year alone. So you're going to start to hear this. Home sales are falling, okay? But that's just the number of sales. We're still at an all-time low point for inventory. So there is very slim pickings out there for these sales. It's been mind-blowing what this real estate market has done the last 2 years with low inventory and a high number of sales. Anything comes on the market would get, sold almost immediately. This is the third straight month that they have declined, showing how record prices and skyrocketing mortgage rates have made potential home buyers close their Zillow tabs in frustration. This is all according to Lawrence Yun, the chief economist at the National Association of Realtors. Despite that, home prices have continued to rise. The median price of an existing home jumped to an all-time high of $391,000 plus in April. It's an increase of 14.8% from a year earlier, and the average home on the market stayed on the market, referencing what I just mentioned with the inventory, for just 17 days before going under contract. So when you hear sales are falling, that does not mean prices are falling. And that's the clarification I want everybody to understand. You may see prices start, I don't know how we'll see it, but you may see prices start to level off at some point because of some of, the interest rates and some of these other issues. But right now, you're still sitting at a point where your values are going up.
When you see too, I think one of the things that's interesting is right below that, right? Where, Redfin and The Atlantic start to source some of these things. Google searches for homes for sale were down double digits in major metro areas. Yeah. So I think people are starting to I think people just have fatigue. I have to assume, we've talked about this God knows how many times in the last 2 years. Chaz, you're dealing with a buyer and you're 8, 10, 12, 15 homes deep sometimes. And eventually it's just like, I'm burned out. I quit, I give up. And you get the sense of capitulation where it's just, I'm done. I can't do it anymore. And, with prices where they are, I have to assume, again, to your point, Byron, of volume is slowing down, but the transaction prices are still up through the roof right now. 15% year over year.
Right.
It's huge.
Pat, what you said to close out last week's show is really resonated with me all throughout this week, right? So they're looking at it on a very micro scale of the last 30 days. But if we looked at it on a more macro scale of, say, the last 90 days or the last 6 months, you're not going to see a drastic decline in these numbers. 15% were still up year over year. So yes, maybe for 1 month, people took a little break, or they had some fatigue, or the weather got nicer and they spent some more time outside instead of staring at their computer screens. But we're still not in any danger of this market slowing down for the foreseeable future.